From teaching school, where my classroom was launched into outer space, and Fairchild Industries called me and said, hey, you know, they needed a woman to be pushed up the corporate ranks, and I had great legs, so they took me. And now I would get taken into the office of Wernher Von Braun. And I don't know much about him, but I do know he's German, and my father wouldn't even buy a German car at the time. And so I walked in, and I was speechless, obviously. I'm not the type that's usually at a loss for words, but I could not talk when I sat across his desk, and he said, you know, Carol, I couldn't teach 37 children, but I had a dream at 14 years old of going into space and finding out who we really are. And that was his whole theme when I met him. But I've met people along the way now who say, oh, Carol Rosin, she must be a Nazi lover. I have been told and seen myself written up as a Nazi lover, a Hitler lover, Wernher Von Braun. I'm supposed to defend this man that I met that's one of the greatest visionaries of our time, that actually set off the space program. Of course, you'll see him in some of the peace groups. He set off the V2. Well, that's true. I have a picture of myself hugging a model of an A-10 bomber airplane. I mean, some of us, and I know some in here too, have worked in the military-industrial complex, and I have worked in that revolving door game. And so did Von Braun, and he planned the escape to come to America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Well, we are brave. Free, I don't know so much about. But I know that I have been called a CIA agent, an FBI agent, a KGB agent, an agent of the military-industrial complex. I'm a pathological liar. I eat dogs. There are so many rumors that I'm the Mata Hari of space. Ha-ha. And I've been written up this way. Somebody wrote an article one time that said, if Carol Rosin is all these things, she must be doing something right. And it's ridiculous. There's such a discrediting campaign going on, and it included about Wernher Von Braun. And we have to stop this gossip. And if one of you goes out and gossips about me, this is my natural hair, and I don't have it like this to attract attention, then don't talk to me. Okay? I don't want any more negativity coming at me or anybody else in this room. We have to stop that gossip column, please, because we're discrediting ourselves, we're backstabbing everybody. It's not working. And I'm going to give you something that can bring us all higher into a higher frequency that Wernher Von Braun would have loved, because his whole vision was to go into space peacefully. He worked in the weapons world, so did I. He worked under Hitler. Can you imagine? He said he tried to save some of the workers from having to work all those hours they were told. These guys were rocket scientists, and they were not there to kill people. They wanted peace in space. This was his whole theme. That's how I met this man. He took me into his office, and he was dying of cancer. And he wrote on a piece of paper, I wish I still had it, he was scribbling while he was talking to me. I was brought in for a 5-minute meeting that lasted for over about 2.5 hours. He kept shooing people away. And he thought it would be great if a woman took on this issue, because he said nobody would close the doors on me. So now he's scribbling on this piece of paper, and at the end of talking to me, he handed it to me, and he had tubes draining out of him, and he was given 3 to 6 weeks to live, and he said, I'm going to stay alive to teach you what the real game is, and you have to go out there. And I can't tell you how many times I have quit. Some of the people here know, because I wouldn't even sign the contract here until just a couple of weeks ago. I've so vacillated about even coming out again. Von Braun was writing the word humor on this piece of paper, in little circles. And he said, you have to keep your sense of humor. If you don't, this is going to kill you, because this is so serious, what's going on. The game in the military-industrial lab, university, NASA, and other space industries around the world, intelligence community, governments, complex. It's all inexorably linked. You can't even blame any one of them for what's going on, because it's all part of it. It's called jobs and profits. And there is a way to create them bigger than during any hot or cold wartime. It's about space. And I know there are people here like me who say, why would we even be going into space, this technology? We shouldn't even have it. We have so many problems and suffering going on the planet. Yes. But the problem is we're already there. There are thousands of satellites up there working right this minute, space stations with 16 countries working on it, and more plans for space, a hotel. I mean, it's incredible, and a space elevator. And we could have, instead of battle stations, space hospitals, when astronauts go into space, there's no gravity, so they grow at ½ inch to an inch. Think of the bones and the body, the solutions to healing and health that we can learn from that kind of information, from building a space hospital. It sounds bizarre, but the choice is a space battle station. Which do you want? Because we don't have a choice now. Now the choice is battle stations. It says it right in these articles. I have a couple of copies if anybody wants it, and I'll post it too.